Ready?
Did you order my curry correctly?
Yes.
Yeah, sure.
The curry has been ordered correctly.
Correctly.
Well, you asked for a
Peshwari
Peshwari naan.
Chicken tikka masala.
Yes.
Plain boiled rice.
Yes.
Poppadoms.
Yes.
Well done.
That's what you're getting.
Oh my god. Well done.
There's beer as well if you want it.
Hey.
What was I going to say? Oh, welcome to the Retro Shed.
Hello.
I'm Barry.
I'm Josh.
He's the Josh. We've not been in front of camera for a while now, we've got a number of different things to talk about and some questions that we've been asked to answer as well. But more on that in a moment. Lockdown.
Is this just basically our monthly chat video
Kind
record
of
thing?
Yeah, I think his hair's getting longer.
Welcome to the Retro
My
Shed
hair
podcast.
is getting shorter.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it does, because your hair's growing and my hair's getting shorter.
But all hair grows.
Yeah, but mine's being cut. Yours isn't.
When did you cut your hair?
Yours is getting ridiculously long, actually.
I ain't even trying to
I think this is week 7.
No way, it's been 7 weeks.
I think it's been 7. I think this is 6 or 7 weeks that we've been in lockdown here in the UK.
We've basically had a summer holiday.
And it's not been easy. I won't confess that it has. I know for a fact that some of you guys watch us are struggling in one way or another. We're all human. I had a bit of a wobble a couple of weeks ago. You've had a bit. I think we're all under stress and pressure, but you know, keep yourselves safe. We will see it through. I don't know how long it's going to take. What have you been up to? You've been
gaming,
working,
online school. That's it.
Been trying to get exercise.
Eating. That's it. That's literally it.
I think that's pretty much what everybody's watching this has been doing. Working, doing what they can
and
to
gaming.
get through. It's not been easy, has it? But stay safe, everybody. What am I missing? I'm missing
cricket.
Yeah, you're desperately missing cricket. I'm desperately missing going out for a curry and a beer and seeing mates and road trips.
I'm missing meeting mates.
Yeah. It's
to be
not
honest,
easy.
I'm missing school.
Yeah,
I'm missing school. I want to go back to school.
You have said that before, though. You have said that after a long holiday. You said, "I'm looking forward to going back to school."
No, but I miss school. I've never said I always say I'm looking forward to going back, but I've never said I miss school.
No, and you're not alone, because your teacher rang me the other day for a chat and a catch up about things, and he said you're not the only kid that's missing school at the moment. So
that reminds me, actually, one of my teachers said this morning. He sent us a message. He said, "Wakey, wakey, sleepyheads. Here's a video to get you up and about." And I clicked the link, right, and it was Rick Astley's video, Rick Astley's song. What's it called?
I'm never going to give you up.
Yeah. Never gonna give
It's
you
really
up.
what he did, wasn't it?
He sent me by Rick Astley. Never gonna give you up. And I was
Stu Miles is a big Rick Astley fan.
I got
he?
Rick rolled basically.
Excellent stuff.
It was just.
It could have been worse.
My English teacher's weird.
So the past few weeks we've been doing some live streams. We've done our first live streams and they weren't too bad. They weren't too chaotic. We did Playing Gradius, which was, I did Playing Gradius.
And then I came down and gave him a beer.
Then he came down to give me a beer and then he started playing Gradius. And I don't blame him because it is really that good. Oh, and we played live Alien Isolation. How goddamn scary is that game?
To be fair, he's a massive fan of Alien.
Yeah.
And the movie, for me, isn't scary. It doesn't scare me at all. It's just not. It's a good movie. It's not scary
Brilliant movie.
at all. But that game, I didn't think the game would scare me, to be honest, because I thought that to really appreciate the game and be scared of it, you have to be scared of the actual alien itself.
No.
Which I wasn't.
Do you know what you're scared of? You're being hunted.
Well, so I started playing.
You're being
and I was
hunted, aren't you?
Because he bigged it up and he's like, "Oh, we can't play this," and he's not really scared of much at all. So he bigged it up quite a bit, saying he was scared of it.
It does. The creature does scare me.
So I was playing it. I was just like, grab this, open this door. It was kind of boring, to be fair, but I got through it, and the alien appeared for the first time.
This chap here.
And honestly, oh my god. It was 11. It was literally like 10 o'clock at night the other night, and I was sat in pitch darkness playing it, and I just heard thump thump thump, and he just rushed through.
You've had some very scary deaths.
I screamed. I threw my controller across the room and screamed.
I am scared of the alien, and the reason I'm scared of the alien, it's a psychological thing. I saw that film when I was 11 years old.
Lad.
I was far, far too young. And you know yourself, you see a scary film when you're a kid, and you're completely irrational about it. He used to be scared of volcanoes,
Yeah, sure.
right? He used to think volcanoes were going to blow up under his bed. You try telling a 10-year-old kid to go to sleep that there's not a volcano under his bed. It's hard work.
I wasn't 10. I was about 6.
10. When I was
I
11...
wasn't 10.
When I was 11, I saw Alien. I couldn't leave the settee to go for a pee on my own because I was convinced this goddamn thing was upstairs, either in the airing cupboard, under my bed. I was convinced there was an alien in the house.
I'm sorry.
I really was.
I'm sorry, but when you go to the toilet at night,
Yes.
if you're not like mildly kind of like bricking yourself, then
11.
are you even now? Are you even human?
I don't brick myself now going to the toilet, no.
Do you not?
No.
You don't like feel a sense of like
Dread
yeah.
in your basement or attic.
I
No.
go to the toilet at night and I'm scared.
Oh yeah, that's interesting. We'll talk about that on another show. But no, I'm not. I'm not really scared of much in
You're
this
not
day and age.
human, then.
But the alien scares me, and it always has scared me. I think it's one of the scariest things in the world. The alien is.
When you're going upstairs at night and it's dark, do you not feel like something's behind you? You don't get scared.
Oh, they are.
No, come on, for real.
The dead.
No, for real. Do you ever
You've
get
not seen. You've not seen. You've not seen
that movie?
The Sixth Sense.
Yeah, I know.
Because there's a bit in that where the guy literally says, you know, there's times when you're sat on your own and you feel something and you think there's somebody there.
Yeah, but when you're walking up the stairs, you not feel like something's chasing you. Do you not feel like something's behind you? And if you don't get to your bedroom door quick enough, it's going to get you.
Yeah, it's a
But
greyhound.
once you shut your door, you're safe. Do you not feel that? You don't feel that?
No.
You're weird.
No. Before I move off the subject of Alien, we will be doing more live streams on Alien.
Yeah, I've got to a good part of the game.
He's got into
now,
a good part of the game now, and I really feel that we need to share
where
this with you.
every level the aliens are pretty much.
So it's now the beginning of May. We'll give you a shout next week. Next week we will do a live stream and
We'll
show.
on this weekend.
We'll do it this weekend or next week, but either way, we'll bring you it pretty soon. Keep your eye on our Facebook page, and we'll be doing it. We'll give a shout out when we're
a lot more interesting than that.
Yeah. I think we'll see a lot more of the creature, and we'll see a lot more of him
screaming,
crapping himself. 3 years ago, we started this channel. We are 3 years old last week. It's our 3rd birthday, and
we're underage.
I'm quite shocked that we're still here doing this. I didn't think we'd last a year.
Mad.
But we're still here. Some stats for you. We've done 133 videos, right? Not including this one.
I know a lot of channels that have 5 million subs, and they've done less videos.
Well,
than us.
133 videos. We have, as of today, 2,150 something subscribers.
That's a lot.
In 3 years. People have watched our videos 107,000 times.
Wow.
And viewing hours is around 10,000 hours. And do you know what we're worth to YouTube? $3.75. That's what we've earned in 3 years. Now, I've not worked out how much time and effort and blah blah blah.
That's a lot of cash.
We do this because we love it.
Do you know what? We could buy 2 Mackey's milkshakes with that. Well earned.
$3.75.
Well earned. We can get some. We can get some Mackey's milkshakes with that.
But my point being is, if you're a creator and you're on YouTube and you are trying to make a penny, it ain't gonna work. Not unless you've got
you hop on the
20
bandwagon.
million subscribers. You're doing Fortnite videos 20
literally,
times
if you're
a day.
doing everything everyone else is doing.
Yeah, the algorithms on YouTube. We had a guy
scuffed.
spot us last week from the States. Hi mate, thanks for joining us. And he said, why have I never seen this channel before?
Because the algorithms scuff.
Because the algorithms don't work.
It doesn't. When you search, it comes up with the most viewed video with the name in the title. It doesn't come up with the channels that produce the best content of it, and that's the most scuffed thing. You can have a video.
What's scuffed?
Scuffed is just broken, not good, not very good.
Okay.
You can have a Fortnite video of 20 million views, and someone will clickbait the title, right?
Yeah.
You can have a Fortnite video of somebody getting a 30 kill solo squad game, and it'll have less views. And what's the better content?
So my point being, the little channels like us, there are lots of little channels like us. We don't get anywhere doing this. We do it because
we enjoy it.
We enjoy it, and we have a very small band of people that have followed us for 3 years. I mean, well done, you lot. Respect to you lot. Thank you so much. They've seen you grow up. They've seen me grow old.
You didn't even grow. I was going to say.
They've been watching us for 3 years. They've endured this channel for 3 years. Listen, we are on Patreon. If anyone out there would like to support us, and I know there's probably one or two of you that would like to support us, if we entertain you...
and that donating website.
Yeah. Because small channels need Patreon to survive.
I need Mackey's milkshakes to survive.
If you would like to help Josh feed
Donate.
himself a McDonald's milkshakes, please feel free. Head on over to Patreon. We are patreon.com/The Retro Shed as one word. If you want to help this channel, if you like what we do, please help.
Donate.
Yeah, please donate. We'd
us
absolutely
money.
love you for it. That'd
Give
be
us
really, really
money.
cool. If you don't worry about it.
If you don't, I don't get my milkshake.
We'll carry on. But help the boy get a get a milkshake.
Hey.
Yeah, help us along if you'd like to. If we entertain you. If we do a Robbie... No, I'm not saying Robbie. I can't stand Robbie Williams.
She's just going to say Robbie
Jesus.
Williams.
Earlier on this week, a chap called Richard Hawkins reached out to us on YouTube and tagged us. Now, Richard Hawkins, it's a cool name, Hawkins. Reminds me of Stranger Things.
So does Richard.
Yeah, Richard Hawkins. He needs to be the lead in the next Rolling Thunder game. Agent Richard Hawkins. It goes, doesn't it? Richard Hawkins.
Bet this guy's kind of creeped out that we're just
Yeah.
sort of his name
Hello,
like
Richard. Thank you for giving us a shout. Now, he answered some 90s questions last week, and the whole idea is you tag in another channel, and it's up to them to carry this on and answer some 90s questions. Now, that's not easy for me because, as you probably all know, I'm an 80s child, born in the 70s, love the 80s. Best decade ever.
I wish I went back to the
90s for me.
I want to experience the 80s.
The 80s, you do every time you go to Arcade Club. It's the closest thing to being in the 80s than getting in a time machine. But 90s for me was a weird kind of... I went through a bit of a rough time in the 90s. It was a weird era. I can remember bits of it. Here's a bunch of questions from the 90s that Richard has asked me to answer, and I'm going to give it my best shot. So let's begin.
Can I read them to you?
Yes.
Okay. Number 1.
Yeah.
Favourite cartoon you owned on DVD in the 90s?
I wasn't really into cartoons in the 90s, obviously, because I was in my 20s. But if I have to think of all the cartoons in the 90s, there's probably only one that I actually sit and watch that made me chuckle, and it's very, very childish and it's very adolescent, but it's funny. Well, it was, and that, of course, was Beavis and Butthead. I mean, those two.
What?
Yeah, you know, kids
Just
in my
brilliant.
school nowadays joke about that.
Beavis and Butthead.
Yeah, kids know about that.
I didn't own a DVD. I had
Me
a
and my
VHS.
me and my mate in maths were sat there doing the laugh that they do.
Yeah.
We were just sat in maths doing it, and our maths teacher was like, "Can you guys stop being Beavis and Butthead?"
Beavis and Butthead. I owned the cartoon. I think it's Beavis and Butthead Do America on VHS. So yeah. Okay.
Number 2, Sega or Nintendo?
Or for me, I think it's going to have to be Sega.
Nah, it's Nintendo for me.
And
It's Nintendo for me.
okay, well that's good because
Nintendo's
we balance each other out.
Nintendo's better. Mario, Donkey Kong, better.
Well, the reason I'm into
Pac-Man.
Sega more is
Better.
I was of an age, I was in my 20s when the Mega Drive was released. Now, Nintendo for me was always a little childish. Mario and stuff like that. I liked it, I appreciated it, but it was a little bit on the childish side. So when the Mega Drive was released, to me, it was black, it was cool, it was sleek, it was cool. And Sonic, for me, I think was a cooler, more adult sort of game than Mario. And the Sega Mega Drive blew me away.
It's a hedgehog spinning in a blue circle, jumping on heads.
Yeah, man!
How is that more adult-like?
Better than Mario.
How? With Mario 1v1 Sonic, you could beat him.
But
Let's play Smash Bros. I'll play Mario, you play Sonic. Let's go.
so yeah,
Number 3. Your favourite games consoles in the 90s. Favourite console games, even.
favourite what?
Console games.
Favourite console game.
I can't read.
You can't ask me that question, Richard. That's too difficult. The 90s was an amazing age. The 80s was the golden age of gaming, obviously. We had the arcades, we had Atari, we had all this really cool stuff. 90s, gaming really came of age, and we saw some amazing consoles. There's so many games. But if I really am pushed to answer that question, there's 2 that I've narrowed it down to. And one is GoldenEye on the N64.
I grew up playing
which
that.
is probably one of the greatest console games of all time, full stop. Never mind the 90s. It's an amazing game.
Their noses look like that.
What, on the N64?
Yeah, the people's noses, they look like sharp.
Still a great game.
Okay.
And the second one is, for me, which was a groundbreaker, Tomb Raider. Tomb
Fair
Raider
enough.
came out in about 95, I think, off the top of my head.
Fair enough.
And I have to guess between the two. For me, I would say Tomb Raider. And the reason I say that is because Tomb Raider, to me, was like an amazing book. It was like a novel. And once I started reading and playing, I couldn't stop until I
Speaking of that,
so many good memories. Tomb Raider is the best game for me of the 90s.
speaking of that, next question.
Yeah.
Your favourite comic?
I wasn't into comics at all. I can't answer that question. Not in the 90s. I was doing things that had nothing to do with comics in the 90s. So I will have to say the only comic that I've ever bought in my life was in the very early 80s when I was much younger than Josh, and that would have been Eagle, which was a great comic actually. But then Eagle turned into Scream, and then the company went bust.
Your favourite pro wrestler?
I can't stand wrestling. I really cannot stand wrestling at all. It's all
Okay.
fake nonsense.
Boxing then?
I
Favourite
couldn't.
boxer?
No, I don't really follow boxing either, but I can answer the wrestling question.
Okay, go on.
Wrestling, I don't know. I would probably say Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, and the reason is I quite like him. Some of his
He does a
films
lot
are
for the
all
community.
right.
He does a lot for the community.
Yeah, he's a nice guy. I think he's a nice, genuine guy. The rest of I couldn't name another wrestler, but the coolest thing about
Hey,
Dwayne
that's
Johnson.
offensive. That's offensive. You're
What?
really going to forget out John Cena?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
And his name is John Cena!
You're really going to forget John
so
Cena
sorry,
like that?
John Cena. Yeah, I like John Cena.
You're really
John
gonna forget
Cena made Mum cry on holiday once.
We don't talk about
No, John Cena didn't make Mum cry on holiday
We
once.
made
Me
Mum
and
cry.
him made Mum
don't
cry.
talk about
but
that.
it was over John Cena, wasn't
Well,
it?
no, because we was watching like videos.
No, don't tell him.
We was watching videos of John Cena. Baz picked me up and threw me into the pool and shouted John Cena. And Mum started crying because we was making a scene on holiday.
Oh yeah, well, so Dwayne Johnson. The coolest thing about Dwayne Johnson was he appeared in an episode of Star Trek Voyager. That's
Fair enough.
cool.
Your favourite song or music video in the 90s?
Music for me in the 90s
Was big.
It was a bit hit and miss.
But it was
But-
big for you. You've always loved music.
I love music and I love 80s music, and there's some 90s music I love, but some of it is really dreadful. You ever heard of a band called Two Unlimited?
No.
I rest my case. For me, the 90s was the epitome of bands like Pulp, Blur, loads of them. But for me,
Cure?
sorry,
The Cure?
The Cure's more 80s.
Oh.
But The Cure are very. How do you know about The Cure?
My English teacher sent the link yesterday. That was the video
Wow.
yesterday.
Really?
Yeah.
The Cure?
Yeah.
Brilliant band. Don't talk to Mum about The Cure.
I did.
Brilliant.
I did.
Absolutely
And she
brilliant.
didn't even know what it was called.
Okay. My favourite music video, I think, of the 90s has got to be one of two from the same band. It's either going to be Wonderwall by Oasis or Don't Look Back in Anger.
Wait, are
It's
they
a
90s?
Yeah. Classic tunes. They have so many memories for me. Literally any of the early Oasis stuff is just legendary. But I'm going to say Don't Look Back in Anger by Oasis.
Your favourite live action TV episode?
Show.
Yeah, same thing.
There's two. It's a toss-up between Star Trek The Next Generation, which started in the late 80s but progressed through the 90s, or probably the number one show of the 90s that I never missed.
Right.
It got a bit silly in the end. It's got to be X-Files. X-Files was the 90s. It doesn't really work today, but it worked in the 90s. And I remember watching one of the most popular episodes of X-Files, and I think it was Tunguska, and Virgin Media, it wasn't Virgin Media then, but our cable supplier cut out halfway through the episode, and I had about 10 people in our house watching it at the time, and you've never heard 10 people shout so loud when the telly goes off, and I think it was cable and wireless or whatever they were called. X-Files for me is the best show of the 90s.
Right,
It's
there's your question.
just fabulous.
There's all your questions.
So, thank you very much, Richard Hawkins, for sending us those questions. That was really cool. Go and check out Richard's YouTube channel, actually. It's called The Retro Engine.
That's great.
We are the Retro Shed, and he is the Retro Engine.
I wonder how many of the retro things there are.
Lots.
Shed, engine.
Lots. Turd. You name it. You could just put the retro anything, couldn't you? Really?
A retro fire extinguisher.
Yes.
That's a channel. We could just analyse old fire extinguishers and see how far they spray.
The retro anything, actually. So, yeah, go check him out. Thank you very much for that, Richard. That was fun. Enjoyed that. So, I've got to tag two channels now.
Here we tag it.
And
Can I
I'm
choose one,
going
you
to
choose one?
tag. I'm going to tag. Yeah, if you want it, I'm going to tag Dean and John from Press Start to Join. Now, I know you guys are kind of like separated at the moment because of social distancing, but what I want you two to do is have a conflab and answer these 7 questions, and both film yourselves separately answering each separate question. I really want to see that video soon, so chaps, Press Start to Join, answer those 7 questions for me. Josh.
Can't think. I forgot his name.
Well, I've got another one, if you can't think of one. I was going to chuck it at Yam Yam Retro Gaming, Craig Turner. Now,
That was his name! Oh, I forgot his name.
You forgot Craig's name?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Craig.
Craig, how you doing, pal? Hope you're okay. Can you go and film yourself answering those 7 questions, please, on your YouTube channel, Yam Yam Retro Gaming?
I knew that.
So, yeah, before we go, I just wanted to say something. Earlier in the week, I bought a copy of Burnout 3 on the PlayStation 2. That
It's a banging game.
is one of the greatest car racing games of all time. Do you know what I love about it?
No. Forza Horizon 3 is the best racing game ever made.
In your opinion.
But it is.
And I respect that opinion.
But it is.
I'm not saying that's the best game of all time. I'm saying it's one of the best games of all time.
Forza Horizon 3, best racing game.
Burnout 3 on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox is
It's
one
good.
of the best driving games of all time. And do you know how good it is? I'll tell you how good that game is. The visuals are sublime. The graphics are fabulous. The gameplay is
good.
Fabulous. Me and him are swearing at each other like you've never seen, taking each other out on Burnout. But do you know why? Do you know what the mark of a good game is?
Split screen.
It makes you forget that you're using technology that's over 20 years old.
That's true.
You're using a PlayStation 2. A PlayStation 2 when you're playing that game.
Mad.
That console
Came
is
out in
over
2001.
20.
It's
Yeah.
19 years old,
It's
actually.
nearly 20 years old. And you're playing a 20-year-old console. And do you know what? You don't care. All you care about is that game. And if you haven't got that game in your collection and you're a PlayStation 2 owner, I can honestly say, if you only buy one PlayStation 2 game this year, go and buy Burnout 3. I guarantee you will not be disappointed in it. It's probably one of the finest games on the PS2 you'll ever play. And it's by EA Games. Challenge everything.
EA Sports.
It's in the bank. So on that bombshell, we're going to go and have a curry now and a beer.
Yes,
And we'll join you guys next time when we're going to be playing Alien Isolation on a live stream. So catch us later on. And stay safe, won't you?
Goodbye.
Adhere to social distancing. And don't cough in anyone's faces like this stupid teenager nearly did to me in Spa the other day. Came so close to being knocked out. Take care. We'll catch you again soon. Bye-bye. Say goodbye.
Well, I said goodbye.
Did you?
Yeah.
Okay, bye.